right. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I want to welcome you to another amazing Tuesday night. Tuesday night is the way we get together and talk about business topics that make you grow. I am Lorie Woodruff, and I am an entrepreneur in the Maryland and DC market, and I help realtors and entrepreneurs market their brand. So anything attached to getting yourself, your products, and all of your business out there so that your audience will love you and respect you and buy from you, that's the person I am. And I want to thank you guys for joining in. Tonight's topic is not about me tonight. I always want to have amazing men and women drop their talent on the show as well, so that you are in a position to grow. So you're able to get into a position to say, I needed that one piece of information to make things happen. I needed to hear that one gem in order to fix the puzzle of what I've been stressing out over. For the last 22 years, I've been working in real estate, and I figured God has a different plan for me, where it's not just going to be showing houses all the time, but it will be now in a position of teaching. And for the last 10 years, really been working in the education space, helping individuals with credit, helping individuals develop their plan, develop their purpose, and of course, monetizing their brand. So that simply means, what is it going to take to help put the t-shirts online, or what is it going to take that thought and bring it out there so that you can get that thought out to the world. So that's my story. And again, as we always go through every single episode, there's going to be all stuff and no fluff. And tonight's presenter is definitely going to give you all stuff tonight. I had the pleasure of meeting Mrs. Tamarra Allen through one of our mutual mastermind groups. So just not even long ago, but earlier this year, I joined a mastermind group, and it was 5 figures, you guys. So it wasn't something small, but you have to understand that when it's time for you to invest in yourself, you can't focus on a price. You can't focus on the price. You have to always focus on, what am I going to lose if I don't do this? All right. I have everything to gain, and you understand you have everything in the United States available for you to gain. But if you are not practicing shifting your mindset, focusing on, well, how much is it? Well, I'll just get to it when I have the money. That's not going to cut it. Many of the millionaires are not doing that. What they're doing is, how much is the investment in myself? If it's $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, then what do I need to do to make that happen? That is the mindset shift that has to happen. And when you speak to majority of the wealthy people in your phone book, that is their mindset on how they approach any investment that's going to take them to the next level of growth. So again, Ms. Tamarra Allen, we had the pleasure of talking, and I gelled with her instantly. She's like the mother figure that you all have been missing. And I think when she starts speaking, you'll understand why. She's definitely all about family, making sure that family and financial literacy get together, and definitely a millionaire at 32. So I like talking to people who are of value, of substance, and can give back. So Ms. Tamarra Allen, she is the Currency Strategist. Are you there, my queen? She's on mute. Come on. You're on mute, girl.
Oh my goodness. Okay. I didn't want to be talking over my sister. Good evening, everybody. I am so excited to be here with you guys, here with my amazing business bestie, Mrs. Lorie Woodruff. Guys, first of all, let's give it up for Miss Lorie. Let's drop some fire signs inside of the chat here for Miss Lorie, because she's always dropping gems and wanted to share. So everybody drop some fire signs in the chat for Lorie. Drop some fire signs, please. And if you can, turn your cameras on. We don't want to be seeming like we're talking to ourselves, okay? Turn your cameras on. It just seems like it's just Lorie and me here, okay?
We could have a discussion. We know they're
Lorie
there,
and I, all right? So turn your cameras on, because this is definitely interactive. You're with family, and we're talking to you guys about what is happening today. So before I kind of get started, just please turn your camera on, introduce yourself, and what part of the country you are in the United States. Hi, Ari. I hope I said your name right.
Yeah.
Hi. And congratulations to you, Ari. Thank you, and congratulations to you.
Thank you. I'm from Baltimore, Maryland, and what am I? I'm a scientist by day, and my business is I'm a licensed nail technician. So I'm in the beauty industry. I do lashes and nails, and I used to sell clothes.
All right, excellent, excellent. So a scientist and in the beauty. I like that. Hopefully you're making some formulas over there. You know, you can get into some formulas, start buying some formula stuff from you. So thank you so much for introducing yourself. All right, so Mr. Trey, how are you, Mr. Trey? Welcome, welcome. Oh, we can't hear you, Mr. Trey.
Hello, thank you for having me. I'm Trey Tucker, owners of Sunners Renovations. I'm a general contractor, licensed in DC and Maryland. I do full renovations from top to bottom. I gut houses and completely rebuild them with these hands right here. So yeah, here I am. And previous real estate agent as well.
Well, welcome. We appreciate you being here. So I can't wait for you to share some more of your nuggets. Mr. Lester, how are you, sir? We can't hear you, honey. You have your mic muted. You still muted, Mr. Lester, so you got to unmute yourself, honey.
You're being so respectful.
There you go.
Yeah, okay. sorry.
Go. It's okay. It's okay.
Yeah. I'm based in Virginia, Woodruff, Virginia. Yeah. And I'm licensed. I'm a realtor. I'm licensed in Virginia and Maryland. I'm working on my DC license right now.
Okay.
And I'm getting into the real estate investment arm of the business also too.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate you. Janelle, I hope I said your name right. Janelle? Hi.
Hi.
Hi, beautiful. Where are you from?
I'm from Baltimore, Maryland.
Okay.
Right now, I'm a stay-at-home mom, but during the pandemic, I started making different things, making t-shirts, and right now I do custom tumblers. And yesterday was the first day I decided to post some online.
Congratulations, because that's where you're going to get your clients from. It's from online. So congratulations on your business, and congratulations on being a stay-at-home mom, because that's important.
Yes, thank you.
That's a job in itself. Okay. All right. So congratulations, Miss Letitia. Where are you from?
Letitia's at work. I know she's a nurse.
Okay, she's a nurse.
So she's sneaking on the job.
Letitia. She up here sneaking on the job. She up here got her earpiece in, sneaking on the job. So welcome, Letitia. Miss Gwendolyn, where are you from?
From Bowie, Maryland.
Hi, Maryland. Bowie. Okay, I know where that is. Got some friends in Bowie. And what do you do, Miss Gwendolyn?
I'm retired, but I'm just starting a business in virtual assistant.
All right, that's awesome. Congratulations. Well, thank you so much for being here, because everybody needs to scale with the virtual assistants. I can definitely have some great conversations with you on that. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Miss Alicia, go ahead and introduce yourself and where you are chiming in from. Miss Alicia? Okay, so we're gonna go on over to Ronnie. Ronnie, where are you from? What do you do? Some of these folks must be on the job still.
Wait, so you said Ron? Ron?
Yes, go ahead, Ron. We had a Ronnie, but we have a Ron.
Oh,
go ahead, Ron. Like, I see all your indicators on your computer. I see your indicators.
Go ahead and speak up since you got the floor, Mr. Forex.
I see you over there. I see you, Ron.
Yeah, I didn't plan on showing myself. I just got home. But anyway, I heard you say Ronnie. I didn't know exactly what you was talking about because I normally don't respond to Ronnie. But
no, there's someone on here named Ronnie. I would never say the name without unless it was.
But since you were unmuted, go ahead.
Go ahead,
Ron. Right. So my name is Ron Jones. I'm an enterprise architect. I'm supporting some important people over the Pentagon. So, and then I do that by day, but by life, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a professional trader, not professional, but I'm a pretty good trader. So I trade in the market. I teach people how to trade, and successfully trade too. So, and I also motivational speak. Also, I do some things. So. Pretty excited just to and Lorie is one of my good friends and business partners. We go way back, so it's kind of good to just kind of see what's going on here.
Excellent. Well, fellow trader to one fellow trader, it's nice to meet you. I saw your little strategies. I saw that real quick. So
we recognize the charts real fast, right?
Yeah, I'm a big time trader. So I was like, yes, okay.
Absolutely. Okay.
Let's go. So let's go. And I actually went to school for architecture and interior design. That's what I graduated from. So I can definitely relate.
Oh, that's what's up.
Yeah, so we'll definitely get into that. Mrs. Tessa, thank you for showing yourself, Mr. Ron. We appreciate you. Okay, Mr. Ron, Miss Tessa. Okay, go ahead and introduce yourself. You're a broker in the DMV. Well, welcome. We are grateful to have you here. And then we got someone on the phone line, a 240. Where are you chiming in from? And what do you do? So the only one we didn't hear from was Letitia and Ronnie. Not Mr. Ron. Ronnie. Okay. All right, everybody. So I normally have a little intro video, but we don't even have to get into that. Again, my name is Dr. Tamarra Allen, affectionately known as Dr. T or Dr. Tam Tam or Dr. Tamar, whichever one. I will respond to all three. I am a serial entrepreneur. I am a currency strategist, a coach, an author, and a speaker. And one of my most pride and joy titles is being a mom and a wife. That means everything to me. And I wouldn't even be here today if it wasn't for being that mom, being that wife. And I have to tell you, it's one of the most rewarding. That's why I can have sincere respect for the stay-at-home mom, because it is hard. But I have always been in business for myself. I've always been enterprising, and I've always believed that we should really be working for ourselves. Just to give you a little bit of history of me, I'm born and raised in Chicago, Illinois, by my amazing parents. And I actually went to school at SIU Carbondale and then transferred over to University of Illinois because they had one of the best architecture programs in the state of Illinois. And then I transferred here in Atlanta to finish up school for interior design, because that was the other portion of what I went to school for. And I thought I was going to live that traditional, have a job, because that's what they told us. Hey, get out there, get that job so you can get paid and have a great income and this, that, and the other, because that was one of the things that they were telling us. Be independent, get your own job, have your own money, which is fine. And then I married and had amazing children. And that didn't work out for long. We stayed married for 13 years. And but we had an amazing business together. After having my second son, I became a legal drug runner. So I'm sure you guys know what that is, right? A legal drug runner. Okay. I was in pharmaceuticals. So I had one of the largest contracts. Actually, they had one of the biggest, largest contracts in Atlanta, Georgia, which shifted me. For those who are moms, if you understand, I had postpartum depression and I didn't even want to go to work. Okay. I was just like, and plus here in the South, they weren't paying like they pay up north when it came to architecture and interior designers. And so I decided, when I had took this little part-time job to deliver pharmaceuticals, I didn't know that I was going to end up owning that conglomerate and literally taking it to a whole nother level here in Atlanta. What I will say, after losing that job, I got divorced, and then I ended up getting into an industry which I never thought that I would be in, because I had believed in working and building up a brick and mortar business, so to speak. So I was introduced to the network marketing arena, the multi-level marketing, and that literally kind of opened my eyes on, even though I was in business for myself, I still felt like I was an employee. Can anybody relate to that? It's like I'm working for myself, but I'm still feel like I'm an employee, you know? So, and I was still like, it was just insane. So being introduced to that industry kind of opened my mind and brought him, and I had the opportunity to meet some amazing people on the planet, and it allowed me to travel the world. But what it did was I still had that entrepreneur spirit, but I understood that I needed to start leveraging a different way. So I was introduced to trading, remarried my amazing husband, was introduced to trading. And before I got into trading, my husband got hurt. He was working on the new Google plant in Oklahoma, fell from a scaffold, and literally got addicted to pain medication. I was no longer in that pharmaceutical field, and I knew that that was a serious situation. Being addicted to pain medication it was crazy, because it could lead to other things. So not only did it affect him, but it kind of affected him in another way on the mental side. So now we're talking about mental illness. We're talking about addiction to medication. And here it is, our money started to deplete. Can anybody relate to that? Having somebody in the family that's going through a struggle. If you can relate to that, drop me a 1 inside the chat. If you can relate to that, drop me a 1 inside the chat. Where here it is, you're going through something, you know, it's like, you know, and I was literally on the line with someone, and her husband is addicted to gambling. So somebody has something going on in their family that kind of really just puts a whole halt to what it is that you're trying to do. You're trying to make it, you're trying to go to the next level. And here it is, our kids are in college. And here it is, I'm having to worry about the condition of my husband. Not only that, started going through money. And here it is, our house was getting ready to be foreclosed on. Anybody ever deal with being put out or having eviction or anything like that? Can anybody relate to that? I wasn't in the field of architecture, interior design anymore. I hadn't done that in the last 19 years. Yeah, 18 years of doing that, being an architecture, interior designer. And here it is, I was a legal drug runner. I no longer had that contract. And here it is, I've been in the industry of, you know, direct selling, so to speak. And here it is, we were out of money. Can anybody relate to being out of money? Your bills are being turned off. You're getting ready to be in a foreclosure. And I had to turn to something that I knew that could possibly save, you know, our life. And that was trading. So trading was the gateway for me and our sons. And that literally allowed us to save our home from going into foreclosure. I learned how to trade on the foreign exchange market and really started trading cryptocurrency. And that literally saved our home, took a few $100s up to $300,000. And that saved our home from going into foreclosure. And it also created a business for my sons and I to go to start doing. And that's what birthed social currencies. So we were literally training, as a matter of fact, some of my people are on now, training some of our people on the skill set of trading and how that could be your gateway out. But in doing so, what was happening were a lot of people were actually trading their bill money. And I'm like, you can't trade your bill money, because once you start learning the skill set of trading, you have to look at it as if that money is gone. It's not coming back. You have to look at it. Ron could definitely account and attest to that. The money is no longer there once you put it in the market. That's the way you have to think of it. Okay. So as we were learning the skill set of trading and really to, you know, understand the psychology, you're always learning on a day-to-day basis, but it can be a life-changing situation. I remember when I had made my first $5,000 in like 30 seconds, it was mind-blowing. But again, it's how you handle it. So as I'm talking to some of my mentees that were entrusting us to show them the way, I enjoy the crypto trading. My oldest son enjoys, he's Chart Slayer, that's his name. He enjoys the Forex side, and my other son is the stocks and the options. So here it is, and my husband was stocks as well. So here it is, we all played a role in the trading aspect. And what we saw was people trading their bill money. And I was like, well, guys, we can start leveraging other money. Yes, it is truly about discipline. And you have to be disciplined because trading is almost like gambling. It's like, whoa, you can make a whole bunch of money at one time, but you can lose a whole bunch of money in seconds if you don't know what you're doing. You have no discipline, no risk, not understanding risk management and the psychology of trading, and you can't have any emotions when you're trading. But in doing so, I realized that individuals honestly didn't even have other people's money, as I like to call it. Leveraging other people's money to get where you need to get to, so you have an opportunity to take it to a whole nother level. So let me talk about this funding side of it. If you don't mind, if it's okay with you, drop inside the chat what your credit scores are. If you don't mind. Some of you are realtors on the realtor side, but drop inside the chat what your credit scores are, because a lot of people, what's so interesting, and I'm saying scores for a minute, but technically it's really about your profile, but I'm talking scores, but it's really about your profile. Okay. So, because some people who have high 600s are better than the ones who have mid 700s, okay, and 800s, because their profile is stacked the right way. All right. So here it is. I'm talking to some of my people and I'm blown away because people that are even older than me were telling me they didn't even have a credit card more than $300. So what happens is you become cash rich and credit poor. Who can attest that they're cash rich and credit poor? And who can also say, well, you know, my parents told me that I shouldn't touch credit, that I don't want to be in debt. Who can recall their family members telling them that? Don't be touching all this debt. Oh, I don't want to be in debt. Can anybody attest to that? Can anybody say they honestly heard that in their family? Right, exactly. And Ari is laughing, but it's true. That's what they would say. But credit is there because we're so busy following the rules that other people wrote for us. Credit is there to help you leverage to get to another level in business. Because believe it or not, you can honestly use leverage to start a business, to buy a house, to buy a car, and turn that sucker into some type of profit. Would you agree or agree? And I need some audience participation on this. Would you agree or agree? You're all
fully.
Go ahead, Mr. Lester.
I said I fully agree.
Because it's so interesting. I was talking to a buddy of mine and he was like, well, I have an 812 credit score. I said, yeah, but what you doing with it? You're not leveraging this credit to get businesses so you can generate more streams of income. You're so busy bragging about an 812 credit score when you're not using it for leveraging. Can anybody relate to that? That's a flex for sure. You're flexing on an 800 score, but you don't have multiple streams of income generated for you. Can anybody attest to that? Janelle, Jonathan, Ronnie, Ron, Natalia, Tessa, Alicia, Gwendolyn, Trey. Can you guys relate to that? That is a flex because, or maybe that person wasn't educated enough to know that you can literally use other people's money on the business side to leverage to get some of the things that you want. So do all of you have a business that's on the Zoom today? Drop me a 2 in the chat if you have a Zoom. Instagram and Facebook, drop me a 2 in the chat if you have a business. If you guys have a business, drop me a 2 in the chat.
You may want to define what's a business.
Okay. So I'm not talking about doing business as. I am honestly talking about, do you have your business formation in an LLC, or are you classified as an LLC S class because you're generating net more than $50,000 a year? Or if you're an LLC corporation, you have partners and you have shareholders within the company. Are you a formulated business? Or are you just doing business as and you're still paying self-employed taxes? Because people don't know the difference between the two. They think, oh, I got a business. I'm doing business as. when you should really be doing your business as some type of corporation so you can get more tax benefits. So if you're that person, drop me a 3 inside the chat. If you're that person, you have a formulated business, drop me a 3 inside the chat, where you have an LLC, you have an EIN number, you have checked to see if your business has, as they say, you can get a trademark if you're able to get a trademark. If you have a website that's with it, if you have a business address with a professional business email and a telephone number, that's a business telephone number. That is a true business. Okay. And please don't take it offensively, not a hobby. There's the difference between the two. You have a hobby, you have a business. And with that business, not only do you have an EIN number, you have a Dun and Bradstreet number. And if you're going for government contracts, because we have someone that deals with government contracts, you have a SAMS number. A SAMS number. And that's dealing with government contracts. Some people want government contracts because it pays extremely well. Okay. That's great, Mr. Trey. That's awesome. That is awesome.
Trey is awesome.
That is awesome, Mr. Trey, because people don't understand, and that's how you can get some government contracts and more funding and things like that. That's if you want to go that route. So that's the type of, when I'm saying business, that's what I'm talking about in reference to businesses being absolutely formula. Great job, Tessa. Did you do your corporation? Did you do your EIN number first, or did you do your corporation first? Which one did you do first? EIN or corporation? EIN or corporation? Okay. Okay. I'm just making sure. All right, Trey. What happened with that third one, Trey? How long has it been inactive? And how old was that LLC?
LLCs are breathing money.
Not using it anymore. Okay, it's been 10 years. It's wow. Wish you would have kept that one. That sucker's 10 years old. I wish you would have kept that one. If it hasn't been inactive, it's been inactive for 10 years, or you had it 10 years, or is the history 10 years?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, Mr. Trey.
With your LLCs and with the state of Maryland, I forgot to pay the Maryland portion of that $300 a year for Maryland, for the state of Maryland, to keep that LLC active, and got behind in it. So the LLC is over 10 years old now. Now I can go back and pay the $3,000 and they will reinstate it. Okay. But since then, I've created 2 additional LLCs, one with my current renovation business, and another one is a photography drone business as well. So I probably will reactivate that third LLC.
It's worth it.
Because it's 10 years, it's 10 years
seasoned.
plus.
Yes, it's 10 years.
Yeah.
And did you have an EIN number attached to that LLC?
I sure do. I sure do.
Okay, yeah, I want you to definitely consider it. Okay. Because here it is, when it comes to funding, you have an opportunity. The older it is, even if you didn't make any income, the more money they tend to give an age LLC versus a brand new LLC. Okay. And, one thing that I like to tell people, be careful with the name that you choose and select for your business. Be careful of the industry, because based on your NAICS code will determine if it's a risky business. Okay. And that would determine whether they're going to give you funding. So I would definitely stay away from the trucking company names. I would definitely, and the ID numbers as related. I would be more on the consulting side.
Yeah, and real estate too is one of those.
Yeah, I was going to say real estate, tax offices, credit repair, all that. Hint. I would kind of stay away from that. Financing, I would, gear more towards something else in reference to name and when you choose your NAICS code. Okay. Because again, it's about the funding portion. And my goal is to help you shift from personal to business. Meaning, let's take all that money that's out of your personal name, and use it towards a business. I believe in trust. I believe in holding companies. I believe in owning nothing but controlling everything. Can I get an amen on that?
Major amen.
Owning nothing but control everything. Okay? You don't want to own anything. You want to control it. All right? That's what you really want. Because let's just say somebody decide to sue you and you got 10 houses under you. They can take money from all of those profits. Okay? But if you don't own anything, they can't take anything.
That's not it.
But
did you want to take questions now or later?
We could take a question now if somebody has a question.
Sorry about that.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Does anybody have a question?
Ronnie had his hand raised up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can, Mr. Ronnie.
Okay. How you doing? Got a question for you. So my company's name is Elohim Logistics, right? And you just said something about it's transportation. It's a transportation business, trucking, whatever, dump trucks, whatever. So are you saying that I should probably, because it is a little difficult getting the funding. Someone told me that it's actually because it's dealing with trucks and 18-wheelers, it's risky. They're saying it's risky because of the diesel and all that. So I'm getting into now. I'm gonna do that, but I'm getting into now just transporting kids and elderly people, getting my endorsements, things like that I can do around town that really isn't so risky. So what should I do with my name? That's my question. Should I change the name? Should I make it more?
How old is that LLC?
It's really new. It's like I got that. It's probably about 2 months old.
Okay, keep that one. Generate another one. Okay.
Generate another one. Okay.
You definitely want to stay away from companies. I have a list. Would you guys like to see that list of companies you should kind of shy away from when it comes to? Is that okay with you, Miss Lorie?
Yeah, definitely. And for those that are on the Zoom, I can certainly make sure that they get it in the replay too.
Yes, you kind of really want to shy away from certain companies because once again, it's going to determine your funding down the line. Okay. And we don't want anything to affect the funding aspect, or we don't want that information inside of the name either. Like logistics is fine, but the fact that you're trucking, okay, that you're stating that it's trucking because you may have formulated that way through your code. So these are just some of the things that you kind of want to steer away from, okay, when it comes to your business. Bank, credit, lenders, finance companies, money services, credit protection, repair, collection agencies, debt tax reduction services, investment opportunities or advice, securities and commodities, insurance related services, real estate broker and agencies, property managers, appraisals, real estate, anything that's in real estate or taxes. Okay, you kind of want to stay away from that. Energy distribution, construction, because you could be in a construction company today and you could be out tomorrow. I'm sure Mr. Trey can relate to that. Printing, vehicle manufacturing, funeral services, vitamin retailers, media publishing, telephone courier resellers, video rentals, school and daycares, sports and performing arts venues, blood and organ banks, and farming. These are some of the places that you kind of want to steer away from when it comes to creating your business entity and its name. Okay? That's what you want to kind of stay away from. So saying that your logistics company is great, it's great, that's fine, but it's the fact that it's in trucking. Does that make sense? Ronnie, now you say something, Ronnie. I was calling on you earlier, you didn't say nothing.
And earlier, and I found it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I was in the ER with some people, so it was kind of hard to really talk. So yeah, it's fine. That's perfect. So I'll just figure out how to get another. I'll get another LLC. I just don't want to go with that company because they charged me $2,000. I don't want to go for that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Say what now?
Who charged?
I went with a company. It was LegalZoom, but that's all I knew. So they charged me almost $1,700.
Honey, I will give you a link so you can get this done just for the cost for the state of Maryland, or I think you're in Delaware.
I appreciate your Delaware.
I know you like spending money, but let's not do that.
He can spend money with me. He can spend money with me. I'll do it. But it wouldn't have been no $2,000.
Yeah,
my goodness.
Yeah.
my mind is blown when you said that. I was like, what? You know?
Yeah, they charged me a lot of money. I'm like, wow, okay, well, I guess I didn't know, so I didn't. Now I'm kind of a little wiser, wiser to it. So, but yeah, I appreciate that. You'll send me that link, Lorie. I'll
Yeah,
take
tomorrow on the
Say
replay.
ignorance is
I'll get that.
bliss.
Tomorrow on the
Okay.
replay,
Yes.
I'll make sure that you guys get the link so that you
Right.
can just get the LLC, not all the add-ons, and not all that extra.
Yes.
Tamarra, I did
Ignorance
learn
is
all
bliss.
that to be true as I was getting funding. Like, I've been in real estate for a while. So as I'm getting loans, I'm trying to apply for loans. I'm trying to figure out, why am I getting denied? And it was because I was putting real estate consultant as my industry. And that was one of the things. So a lot of times you have to speak to the lender to find out, well, if you can get in good with them first, what things are prohibited, on the high risk list before you even apply. Because I didn't know that real estate was on the high risk side. So through consulting, I can get everything done through that, just business consultant.
And we still have to be a little bit slightly careful with the word consulting, because they know a lot of people are shifting towards that as well. But she's absolutely correct. It's something that you can do yourself if you know how to do it the right way, and you want it to be formulated the right way, because people tend to think that they go, I can go do it myself, and then you're not doing the steps properly. That's why I asked Tessa earlier, which one did you do first? I said, was it the LLC or the EIN number? And she answered accordingly, the right way. But there are a couple of steps that you need to do before that, before you got your LLC, before you got your EIN number, that you need to do before that. So we want to make sure that everything is in order first. Okay. So Ronnie, I hope that answered your question. Did I answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you so much.
Excellent. So we're going to move on over to Mr. Ron. Mr. Ron.
No, how you? Yeah, right. Yeah. So I have a question, because this is some good information. So I do have a company called Streamline Home Buyers, and so I didn't know it was a high risk either. So that's new information. I'm wondering, when he mentioned about 10 years, 10 years old, I'm also thinking, because I had an IT company, LLC S Corp. I'm just wondering, is it worth reopening it? Like, I think I would just have to pay the years, because my time working, I had to fold it due some conflict of interest when I was working at the White House for 8 years. And so it's been about 10 years. I was just wondering if that would be more valuable to reopen or just open a new, because it's an IT company. And so I don't know, you didn't name that. So it was just kind of something I thought about to wonder if it was.
Weigh your pros and cons. Weigh your pros and cons when it comes to that. If it's something that can benefit you now, then do it. If it's something that where you can go and just get a new LLC, yes, it may have been yes. So let me go roll it back on the ageness of a company. Okay. If you're still in the industry of it, I would do it per se. If it's something because you're just trying to go back because you're trying to get the funding portion and you're not in the industry per se, I wouldn't do it. Okay?
Yeah, I'm not doing federal contracts anymore. I don't do IT services anymore. That's kind of, I'm an architect now. I don't really kind of do the IT services as much anymore, but
right.
Yeah.
So that's why I was like, that's why I said I want you to weigh it out. Okay.
Okay.
I want you to weigh it out, which one would be to your advantage, which one you should do. Okay. So you answered the question for yourself already.
Okay. I'm just wondering for funding purposes, but yeah.
Well, we can still get you funding regardless. Okay.
Okay.
Regardless, you can still get funding. All right. It just may not be as much, but you can still get funding. You can still get it as long as your profile is right. Okay. So let's talk about personal and let's talk about business when it comes to funding. So I am all about leveraging and shifting from personal to business. Do you guys understand what I'm saying when I say that? We're going to shift it from personal to business. You guys understand when I say that? How in the inside of the chat, drop how many LLCs you currently have. Inside of the chat, drop how many LLCs. I think Ms. Tessa said she had 2. Who else? How many LLCs do you have? Miss Alicia says 1. Okay. Ron says 2. Mr. Jonathan 0. Pete 0. Janelle 0. For the ones who said 0, do you have a business? For the ones who said 0, do you currently have a business? Okay. Okay. Still trying to start. What do you mean by you're still trying to start, Miss Janelle? What do you mean by that?
Okay, for me, like I was saying, I started, my crafting over, during the pandemic. So I want to say maybe within the last 2 weeks, I've been looking into the LLC. I actually have a few notes and stuff that I took down in obtaining the LLC. And I'm glad I joined this meeting tonight because I also was on LegalZoom.
Please don't do that.
Thou shall not pay $2,000.
Okay.
Right.
I can definitely show you
Got you
along
covered
with Lorie.
tomorrow, don't worry.
We can show you the way. Okay. We can take you down the yellow brick road. All right.
That's why I'm here.
All right. And we can show you the way that you can do it where you don't have to spend all of that. That's ridiculous. Okay. You can formulate your business based on your state for a few $100s. You will have to make sure that certain things are in place first before getting your LLC employee identification number and get Dun and Brad and your SAM.gov if you're going the government route. But and like I said, here in Atlanta, we're going to have an event. I'm going to have someone that's going to be speaking on government contracts. Okay. I'm going to have someone that's going to be speaking here in Atlanta on government contracts for those who are wanting, because it can pay a lot of money on the government contract side. So, but yet and still, you want to make sure that your business is formulated the correct way. Okay. And I understand why Ronnie went the route of LegalZoom. He's like, hey, I don't know what I'm doing, so I don't want my stuff messed up. But yet you don't want to be taken advantage of. But if you want to pay the money now, you can pay it to Lorie and me and we'll do it for you. But no, you can do your LLC, you can do your company formation for a few $100s based on your state. Okay. Based on your state for a few $100s. Okay. All right. So let me tell you what I love about that. First of all, people ask about classification. Well, why do I need a LLC? I can be doing business as in certain ways. All right. One, if you want the tax benefits of being able to be in business. And two, let me ask you guys a question. During the planned scamdemic, who got paid? Who got help during the planned scamdemic? Was it business owners? Yes, I said it. Planned scamdemic. That's what it was.
Business.
I got several loans through SBA.
Okay. The businesses got help. The people who had jobs got unemployment. And they were told how much they was going to get. Okay. And it was cut off. So during the planned scamdemic, unemployment, funding. Okay. So if your business is formulated, you had an opportunity to get money. All right. And that's what I want you guys to think about. Now, whether you voted for them or not, it doesn't matter. We're just talking in reference to right now. All of these companies, they were getting millions of dollars to help support their business. It's not for people who are employed. You're already being taxed. You're basically getting 38 to 43 cents on the dollar of anything that you receive. Wouldn't it be nice if you at least got 78 cents to 82 cents as opposed to 38 to 42 cents on the dollar? So creating a business allows you to have those tax benefits. That's one. Two, if you're in business and you're generating income and you've generated a minimum of 50,000 net, that's after expenses. This is where we go ahead and classify you as a C Corp company, a C Corp corporation, because technically, if you haven't classified yourself in an LLC, you are considered, in a sense, a sole proprietor. But when you make more and you've netted, if you're only making $1,000 a month netted in your business, you can just stay as a regular LLC. But if you have netted in your business a minimum of $4,000, then you want to be classified as a C Corp so you can get the benefits. Otherwise, you're going to be taxed, get self-employed tax, which is fine. But here it is, when you are classified the right way, your company gets paid money and you can get paid money. So you get a double dip when you're classified the correct way. If you are a C Corp classification in your LLC, that's if you have shares that you're giving out to individuals in the company. That's when you would be considered a C Corp, okay? A C Corp in that classification. So if you have 1,000 shares and they have 100 and they have 100 and they have 100, that's when you're classified in a C Corp, an S Corp, I apologize, an S Corp corporation. All right. Okay. So let's talk about the funding side. I just want to just give a little bit of definition on the LLC, S Corp, C Corp, and how you are going to be classified, which one gives you those benefits. Okay. I want to make sure I didn't mix myself up. All right. Because again, it can get tricky. And again, the C Corp is where you want to go if you're netting it. The S Corp is if you're going to go for shares. Now let's talk about the funding aspect. What's amazing, what people didn't realize is they thought that they had to go the traditional route. When it came to funding, you got to get these net 30 accounts and they got to show that you're making payments on time. But now you can literally get credit off of your business based on your personal without having to go through net accounts, meaning you're paying 3 to a year to these companies and they're reporting to the business credit bureaus, which is Dun & Bradstreet, Experian for Business, Equifax for Business, Asonia, and there are a couple of more that they're reporting on your behalf. But if your credit profile personally is where it needs to be, with a minimum of a 680 score and some other parameters that are needed, you can apply for business credit and it's not going to affect your personal. It will not be reported to your personal profile. So I've been able to help some people get anywhere from 50,000 onwards to 420,000 in business and credit. I'm sorry, let me make sure I say this. Credit funding under the business. And they were able to get some credit cards under the personal as well. And they were able to shift. Why were they able to shift from personal to business? Because some of those expenses that they were paying for under personal should have been under business. Number one, cell phone. Why is your cell phone, if you're in business, under you personally? It should be under your business. Because once you LLC, once you put your business in play, we're going to mosey on over to the cell phone companies with your articles of incorporation, which is a certificate of being an LLC. And we're going to take our EIN PDF that we get from the IRS, and we're going to mosey on over to the cell phone companies and put our cell phone under our business name. We're going to switch it from personal to business so we can start getting more of a write-off. Does anybody have that going on for them right now?
I need to do that. That's on my to-do list, but is that difficult to do? Like I've been with AT&T. So
No.
Just switching it from personal, it's just a phone call to have them switch it?
No, I would, you can actually give them an actual phone call on that behalf. You say, look, I was with Sprint, now I was T-Mobile. I was with Sprint it's been 25 years. Okay. So what happens is you get so used to, oh, this is who I'm with, I'm just going to pay it. No. Well, if you don't want it written off, now, if you want to keep, then leave it where it is. But otherwise, I'll be picking up the phone, come tomorrow, I'll be like, hey, I have a business and I need for all of my phone lines to be under my bit, and you get a better rate when it's under business. It's sometimes cheaper than it would be if you're on the personal side.
Yeah,
it's
I
cheaper.
did that, and I actually did that, and it wasn't a big deal. It wasn't hard. I did.
It's not. So please, when you have a business, you can switch it from personal to business for your business line. Okay. Now, let's just say that you're operating out of your home. There are tax benefits to working out of your home. But if you have a business office, which is a virtual office, so I have it where I have resources where you guys have an opportunity to have your virtual office and it will report with a lease and everything. Okay. Well, that's a write-off. So these are things that you're going to get written off, that you're going to get tax benefits back because you're doing that. But let's talk about the funding portion. So I just wanted to get that phone thing, because a lot of people don't recognize or realize that they really need to be switching their phone over. As soon as you get an LLC, that phone needs to be switched. I don't understand why people are still having it personal under their personal when it hasn't been switched to business. That should have been number one, uno pronte. As soon as you get an LLC, switch for you can keep your same phone number. You can say, hey, but I want to keep the same phone number. All you're just doing is switching it from personal to business. And that's a write-off. Now, let's talk about the funding side. If your profile is above a 680, if you have a minimum of 2 credit cards that are above 2,500, if you have no derogatories, that means no collections, charge-offs, child support, bankruptcy, we can go on and get you some funding today, right now. And we get those inquiries off. So any inquiries that come on can be removed because it wouldn't be sitting on your personal account. But a lot of people don't know that because they think they have to go the traditional route of the net 30s. They got to go through Uline and Quill, and you don't have to do that. Now, should you still be working on your net 30 account? Like, now who don't shop on Amazon? Anybody shop on Amazon? Anybody shop on Amazon? Anybody?
I shop on Amazon Business now.
Okay. So what was your line of credit that they gave you on Amazon Business?
I don't know. I know it's over 1,000. It wasn't a big amount, but it was enough so I can get stuff and pay for it later.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I got like 12,000.
I don't know what the limit is. I need to see. But when
Yeah,
I saw that, but a lot of us shop on Amazon. So a lot of the things that you're getting anyway, now it's a benefit because it's through your business.
It's a write-off.
Mm-hmm.
So why are you, that's another benefit. So why are you shopping personally?
So explain that a little bit more for Amazon Business.
Okay. Amazon is a net 30 account, by the way. So it's not even, it's not even, and they actually don't report unless you have them called to be reported. Okay. They actually don't report unless you call for them to be reported. All right. But yes, you have an opportunity to get an Amazon account just based off of you having a business, and they will fund you. Okay. So if you're shopping, okay, again, let's put it in the chat. Let's put it in the chat. Who is shopping on Amazon? Who's shopping on Amazon?
I had a question here. What does the credit score need to be for business credit?
Again, a 680. It needs to be a 680 and above. It needs to be a 680 and above. A lot of people in our community are generally in the 600s. Okay. And he said all the freaking time. Some people shop every day. Okay. There are people that shop every day.
That net 30 allows you to buy it today, but you got 30 days to pay for it.
Correct. This is not the credit card portion. This is a line of credit.
Mm-hmm.
So whoever said it, who was it? Don't apply. No, you're not doing the credit card, Trey. This is a line of credit.
Yeah.
This is a line of credit.
You just put just Google business, Amazon business, and it'll direct you to what you need to do. It just asks for your business information, your EIN number, your business name and address, and what account do you want linked to it?
I'm just saying.
That's why we got you on the line here, girl, because some of these tips are necessary for them to do the work so they can get funded. So these are really great tips. Thanks for sharing these.
I mean,
so were you saying 680 for the credit or for the credit line?
Only for the credit. No, this is not for the credit line. You don't even have to worry about the credit. You don't even have to worry about
for
the
credit.
Net
30.
For the net 30 account, that has nothing to do with the credit side at all when it comes to the business for Amazon for a net 30 account.
Okay.
Not the credit card.
But the credit card.
Not the credit card. Not the credit. We're talking about a net 30 account.
Right.
Okay. A net 30 account.
Yeah. Buy now, pay later. Everybody else is doing it, you know? So.
No, that's the new layaway. Okay, that's the new layaway. All right. So yes, you have an opportunity to do that with Amazon when you have business. Okay. When you have business. All right. I want you to think about that.
You want to make sure you Google it tonight. Google Amazon business. If you already have a Prime account, just go for it. It's free to set it up. So I have the Prime account and then I have the business account. So I just toggle in between the two when I need to order stuff. But majority of the time, if I'm ordering stuff, then that is on the business side. So under business, under normal personal side, you're purchasing it and you got to pay for it at that time. You know, net 30s reward business owners where they say you're basically good for it, but we'll give you 30 days to pay this invoice in full. You'll get it. Like I'll get this if I order something today under the net 30. When you get to the checkout page, that's when it gets, Ronnie, when it asks you, do you want to pay now or do you want to net 30 it? And when you net 30 it, it'll be delivered to you like normal, a day or two, the way they come drop ship stuff. And then you just have to make sure you pay.
Let me put some 411 on that, Miss Lorie. Does anybody on here have an Airbnb? Or was considering doing an Airbnb? Let me tell you why I love my dang on Amazon account. The fact I could fund my whole dang on new Airbnb with my net 30, $12,000 line of credit with Amazon. Fund the whole thing out. Do you understand? From the dishes to the rug to the couch to the bed to the dresser to everything.
Right.
Okay. With that net, and then turn around once I get my profits. I mean, go ahead and pay it off, and boom, and I got profit. But here it is. Once again, if you don't have a business formulated, you can't do that.
Right.
You're gonna have to buy it up front, as opposed to being able to pay for it in 30 days. And technically, when you first start with Amazon, it's really 60 days, it seems like, because you're making your purchases that month, and then that following month is when you're making your payment. All this above my business positioning, but good information to hear. What do you mean above your business positioning? I'm a little confused. Miss Arkeithia.
All this is good information, but I am not ready to do any of this just yet with my business.
What's your business?
Take down these notes, girl.
Say that again.
What's your business, Miss Reed? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry.
I do real estate and life insurance.
Okay. Okay. So you do real estate?
Yes.
Okay. So it's better to be prepared than to do it at that time. So even though you may not be using it right now, you need to go ahead and have these things in place so when you get ready to use, it's available to you.
Okay. We'll consider it.
There's no penalty for having it. Okay. So you'll make that judgment call for yourself. You know, and this is what I was saying earlier, Miss Arkeithia. Did I pronounce your name correctly, ma'am?
Did.
Okay.
Yes.
So Arkeithia is part of the old school gang. Okay. She's like, I get it when I need it. Okay. Credit is there for you to leverage. All right. That's what it's for. Plus, it's on the business side. But credit is there for you to leverage for when you need to use it to do what you need to do to flip it and turn it into money. All right. So we talked about the proper things that you needed for your business formation. We talked about what your credit scores are so we can go ahead and get you funding. So who currently wants funding for their business? Drop me a 7 in the chat. Who currently wants funding for their business? Mr. Tucker. Okay.
I want some more.
You want some more, honey? Okay. You, Arkeithia, are you serious? Because you just said,
That's above her positioning. So
that's why I'm like, what she mean by that? Miss Arkeithia, you said,
Yeah, I do want it, but I have some things I'm working on personally for myself to be able to do any type of business funding and all of that. So that's like I said, my business is not ready for this just yet.
Okay. Because I just need a little bit of understanding. I was like, wait a minute, hold up. We ain't blocking any blessings over here, Miss Arkeithia. Okay, Miss Reed, we're not doing that. The money is there for you. Thus, for you, take it to leverage it to do what needs. And that's what I mean about living in fear. We don't operate in fear or lack. Okay, We cannot operate in that way if we plan on being in business as going to the next level. We can't do that. We can't. I mean, I don't do that. I suggest that you don't. Okay. So we talked about the funding side. Let's talk about how that funding can help you with your business. You can shift from personal to business. All right. Shift from personal to business. All right. So let's go into systems. When you're in business for yourself, you have to have some systems in place. You need, who has been around when there was no internet? Drop me an 8 inside the chat. Who remembers prior to 1994 of November? Who remembers
AOL.
prior to 1994?
I remember getting AOL.
Okay, that was November of 1994. Okay, so that's what I was saying. So that means we told our age. All right. So prior to that time, okay, we didn't have a plethora of information. Information is available at our fingertips right now, and some of you aren't taking advantage of what is available to you. You're not taking advantage of what's available to you. Funding, one of my mentors, her and I, we would talk about funding. I had a session with her, and I tell you, she used to work at the post office. She's a retired millionaire from the post office. Now, a lot things don't mean anything to me, and it didn't mean anything to her, but it's just a showing of, hey, she bought a Lamborghini. She has multiple homes that she rehabs. Okay, so she's in the real estate as well. And when we talked about the funding aspect, because I really want to dive in even more, especially when I was able to help, prior, to her being my mentor, I was helping my community, like I said, get up to $420,000 in business funding and credit. I mean, do you know what you can do with 420 to flip to your advantage and use it to whether you want to buy another business? Like I tell my mentees, I said, look, who's interested in a vending company? I said, there are so many different types of vending companies right now. I just want the vending machines that go into the restaurants. Now, you may say, well, what is that? I just want the cell phone chargers at the vending machines inside of the restaurants, inside of laundromats. Inside. You guys will be surprised how many people don't bring their chargers with them and they need to charge their cell phone.
They definitely
I only want that type of vending machine. Are you guys understanding what I'm saying? Because you will go back home to get your cell phone. Okay, you'll be all the way on the other side of town, but you will travel yourself all the way back home to get your cell phone. Okay, so these are things people don't think about, of other streams of income. So, that you could be doing through scaling from the profits that you make because you got yourself funded and you're systemizing. So I was on the subject of systemizing, so we're going to wrap this up real soon. So systemization is making sure that you have a website that collect leads from individuals, because social media has been out, but they control it from Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, this, that, and the other. You got to gather information. So you need to make sure you have a website. You need to make sure that has a website that is collecting information. You need to make sure that you may have a text communication so you can text out sales. Black Friday is a big day. If you don't have a product, the young lady that's selling tumblers, she need to be straight right now. This is pre-Black Friday sales. You may have not even made all the tumblers, but it needs to be on your website. It needs to be on your Shopify store, and they need to be saying a pre-sale right now. What does that do? You ain't even made them yet. You sat up here and collected all this money ahead of time so you can place those, and you let them know it's going to be a 2 to 4 week production before you receive it after Thanksgiving. So they're placing an order right now, but they're not going to get their present. They're not going to get their items until around Christmas time. But guess what? You've collected that money ahead of time. You've collected your profits, and here it is, you got orders. And then you're going to ask them, hey, on your next order, if you take a picture with this product, you'll get 10% off. People don't think about that kind of stuff. Well, say you had an ebook. Let me go to the guy that's a trader who's, I'm partial to my traders, because I trade community, right? So he's talking about he's a trader and he coaches. Well, he needs to be dropping his ebook.
I love it. I love it.
How about confirmation, sir?
That's confirmation. The Lord is
dropping an ebook, or he needs to be saying, "Hey, I want you to get this free 99 on how to get started with trading, and then upsell it with the ebook for $47." Now, Lorie and I could tell you. Come on, Lorie, am I right?
We already had this conversation before this. That's why I said it's confirmation for him.
Okay.
I love the way the Lord works. So thank you.
I'm trying to tell you.
Do they not, in our community, are folks not making $100,000 off of a $47 ebook?
Yeah.
Okay. People are getting rich off of an ebook.
That was one of the things in my coaching program. Letitia, Alicia, Lester, they all have ebooks. And I said, don't let that moment pass you by. People need information. People are craving for information. If you've got what they need, they will pay for it.
Let me tell you what you don't want to do. You don't want to wait till the last minute to be promoting your product. This is the time where you need to, like Ron, you need to be getting with some shout out pages, okay? You know, that you're trading. And people are going to think negatively about trading at first, all right? But, you know, if you're like me, you got the proof. So it is what it is.
And he's got he's got the time in. So it's a little bit different when you're first starting. He's got the testimonials and he's got the swag to actually get it done.
Oh, he got the swag. Okay, all right. Yeah. Okay.
Absolutely. I've been doing it for 5 years. So we got it. Yeah, we've been trading.
You got the swag.
Absolutely.
All right. So here it is right here. You know, my baby. This is my baby right here. This is my girl.
Oh, you do crypto.
Don't get him started. No, don't get it started.
That's all I trade is crypto. That's all I trade is Bitcoin. Okay.
I'm heavy on indices. I'm heavy on US 30 and NAS 100s. I'm heavy on.
You can trade US 30 and that now NAS 100 is my favorite. But if you can trade US 30, you can trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. Okay. You can trade them because US 30 move like lickety spit speed. Okay, that stuff will wipe you out in a heartbeat. Okay, in like 2 seconds. All right, but the whole point of it is you need money in order to fund your businesses. Okay, you cannot move yourself forward if you don't have the funding. You feel like you're in quicksand when you can't fund your business. Okay, if you can't fund your business. All right, now. When it comes to scaling, in order for us, when we went from a 30 to 40,000 a month company to 100, you know, we did actually for January, we only did $99,780. We're a few couple of $100 away from 100K that month in our business. And this is, you know, my sons and I, and again, we are in business together. And I pride myself in that, us being in business together, because once again, it's about building a legacy. It is about leaving something behind for your children. That is of the utmost importance to me, that they have an understanding. Their dad died from COVID in 2020. I almost died last year. And if it had not been for us having certain things in place, you know, when the plant scamdemic came about, if we didn't have certain things in place, you know, the house wouldn't have been able to run. So I'm going to ask you a quick question. If you were to get sick today, could your house operate for a year or two without anybody working? I want you to be honest with yourself. If you stop working today, could you still operate? And this is the main reason why. This is why it is of the utmost importance. These are my sons. We are in business together. This is one of our other businesses that we do, which is virtual assistants. That's why I was shouting out to the young lady that said virtual assistant. I was like, yes, because we would have not been able to scale if it was not for virtual assistants.
Gorgeous girl. Your whole family is gorgeous.
Thank you. And my sons, you know, they're my best friends. You know, my husband, you know, we work together. We honestly work together. If it had not, you know, my sons and my husband and guys, mind you, you know, our family went through strife. You know, we went through a lot, you know, with my husband and his illness, with their dad passing from COVID. I mean, it was a lot, but we work together. We support each other. We leave a legacy for each other. It's not just about me. Now that we know that situations can transpire, I mean, not that we didn't know, I wanted to make sure that there was a foundation left for them. If anything happened to me, what happened to their dad, he died. It almost happened to me last year. You know, and my husband was sick, you know, he was sick. So we wanted to make sure that they would be okay. So this is the reason why Lorie wanted you guys on here, just to give you guys an opportunity to say to yourself, are you where you want to be in life right now? If you were to get sick, if somebody was to happen, will you be okay for a year, 2 years, 3 years? And if you are living paycheck to paycheck, then you have got to make a change right now. There is no exceptions, because in a blink of an eye, your life can be taken away from you. In a blink of an eye, you could be put out on the street. Okay? In a blink of an eye, your life can change and you can have all the income that you want in the world. But it's a matter of your discipline. Do you have a plan? Are you trying to make sure that your personal credit is straight? Are you leveraging other people's money in order to get what you want? Do you have a system, and are you really honestly ready to scale? You cannot have small-minded ideas that, oh, I don't want to do credit because I don't want it to affect me. And you can't have that if you want to scale yourself. And you want to make sure that you have your business in order, your formation, so you can take advantage. Because again, we don't know if another plant scandemic is going to come out. And again, who they help was the businesses, not the people. I do not want to be in a bread line. Does anybody want to be in a bread line? I do not want to be one of those individuals in a bread line. Okay? Y'all got to be serious and honest with yourselves. Are you where you want to be? And if not, why? How am I going to get there? So you need to ask yourself those questions.
I'm loving the way you were driving deep into the business is everything, and it's the core.
It's the core, and so is the family.
Yeah.
Because they say people can't work together, but that's actually not true. You got to find those strengths. So what are the strengths of the individuals within your family?
Right.
Who's the one that's going to deal with operations? Who's the one that's going to deal with the marketing? Who's going to be the one that's going to get out there and get the business? You have to know who can do what. Everybody has a talent. Right. And you got to know how to deal with those particular talents. I love what John Maxwell states under the disc. You know, it talks about, and I'll read these small examples super duper quick, and then I'm going to turn it back over. So when we talk about the D person, that's the person's strength is the confident, driven, result-oriented, decisive, action taker. But their weaknesses are impatient and argumentative, overpowering, dislikes routine, a workaholic, and they somewhat have an ego. They like to be challenged and they like to be in control. Their motivation by challenge and control. When stall, jump start activity and engaging in competition, they're very competitive. Then you have I, they're very friendly, talkative. I like to call it with the colors. Red is the money motivated individual, but they got an attitude and they're overbearing and all of this. Green is the analytical. They're going to dot the I's, cross the T's, and they're going to make sure everything is in order before they make a decision. Yellow is the person, I want to save the world, but they're not money driven. So you got to know how you're going to deal with those type of individuals. And then you have blue, which is the party animal. If they're not having fun, they don't want to do it. Okay. They don't want to do it if they can't have fun. So when you know how to deal with those type of individuals and how you can relate to them and incorporate all of those individuals into your business that's in your family, then you guys can have the type of business that you want by leaving your legacy, creating that empire and that dynasty. So that's my potion for tonight. I want to turn it back over to Mrs. Lorie.
Not really quite yet. The personality, I think I'll learn that in network marketing. Yep. And once you learn communication skills with people, being in real estate, I needed to know who I'm working with and who I have to mirror across the table from me. So when you learn the DISC, if you look it up tonight, and of course I'll put it in the replay as well, I want you to take a test. And even when you're hiring people on your team, you want them to take the DISC profile, the DISC, like Tamarra was mentioning. D, dominant. I is more of your social personality type. They like, where's the next party and what are we doing for happy hour? And the S personality is more, let's get things done. I really don't care about the money, but I'm gonna be the one to volunteer first. And the C personality is the calculated, let me think about it. They have no emotion, but they love spreadsheets. And that's typically your engineer. So once you learn that, you have to be able to adapt to all of those different personalities, being a business owner as well. So I appreciate you doing that. Does anybody have any questions for the queen here? Because she's got a lot here, but I also want to make sure, Tamarra, that you were dropping, I'm coming to Atlanta to come to your event, because your event, that's November 5th and 6th. What are you going to be covering on November 5th and 6th? These are the ones for people who want to stretch themselves and actually get more of you.
Well, outside of us feeding you when you come. So we're going to feed some folks when they come to the event, but we have an amazing lineup of individuals that's going to be at our event. And I just need to actually redo our flyer, because we're going to definitely have the trademark attorney that's going to be there. We have a trademark attorney that's going to be there. We're going to also have Minister Better that's going to be there. He's going to be talking about trust. We're going to have the nonprofit, which is, she's going to be talking about nonprofit organizations, how you can create your own nonprofit. Again, we're talking about taxation. So we want to pay the minimum amount of taxes as possible. We have the SBA person that's going to be there, which is Trellis. We also have the government contract person, which is Taquita here. We also have the budgetista. It's crazy because she literally purchased her home in under 2 years and she stayed to a strict budget. So she's going to be talking about how you could pay things off. So we have a budgetista here. We have the government contracts. We have the SBA. We have e-commerce. Okay, I love this woman to death. She's going to be talking e-commerce. We also have another real estate. Otherwise, I would have had Lorie, because I didn't know she was gonna come. But she's a mom. She's a stay-at-home mom. So that relates to the young lady that's a stay-at-home mom and how she literally took the real estate. Nonprofit. We're gonna talk about scaling. This young man this is my youngest son. He's sports and finance, but he's gonna be talking about finances on the side of life insurance. Then we have Mr. BJ, who is insane. He is 21 years old, guys. 21 years old, 5 figures a month. Now he's at 6 businesses. He's almost at 6 figures. No, he's 5 figures a month. He's almost at 6 figures. He is pushing on the cuff of 6 figures, and he's 21.
Ridiculous. I love it.
This is the trust guy. It's going to be insane when he comes up. He is 20 years old. 20 years old. 20 years old.
What's he going to be talking about?
Not only is he going to be talking about mindset, but he is definitely going to be talking about how you can get businesses with hot shots. Okay, for those who are in trucking, but it's a hot shot. It's a little bit different than actual trucking. So for those who are in the trucking business, you know what a hot shot is those cars that follow the big tractor trailers. And they do about, if you have a government contract, that's about $3,000 per car per day. Per week. Then you have my son, who is going to be talking about systems and operating your company. He is our operations manager. So he's the one to make sure that our company stays in order and straight. Are we in the black? Are we in the red? Do we need, he's going to talk about all of those things. And then of course, I'm going to be on the funding side. So Friday night is going to be our mixer. Saturday, we're going to be in there all day, killing it. Okay.
That is a lot.
Sunday is going to be brunch and learn, where you're going to have an opportunity to be with some of our speakers speaking VIP. So I'm super duper excited about what we got going on. I'm not playing any games here.
I love it.
I'm trying to get people to the bag.
I love it. So yes, there is an investment. This definitely is an investment in you. Like we talked at the beginning, we can't ask these questions We got to ask it in a different way. So it's, how much are the general admission?
General is $127.
And VIP?
$497.
All right, it's only
General-
$497.
It's only, and you're getting so much.
For
You're
that
gonna be with me
weekend.
for 3 days.
Right. So the question is, you're thinking on your heart, I don't have it. Okay, physically in the natural, we may not have that in the account, but I want you to leave this conversation thinking different. What do I need to do to make $500 plus airfare and hotel to get there? That's all you have to do, is just ask yourself that, and the answers will definitely appear. You all are amazingly smart, and I know the answer will come to you. 500, I'll be there.
Check this
I
out.
need to come down to Atlanta anyway, so I need
As a
to
matter of
come
fact,
see
I
my
need to
sister.
give you guys her code, okay? But check this out. If you guys decide to come together, you guys can do an Airbnb. For those who are
Atlanta is full of them.
okay,
Atlanta
this
is full
Airbnb
of them.
city.
I know.
Okay, so if you guys decide within your community, the ones who are here, say, hey, I'll go, and we can get an Airbnb together.
I love
Okay.
it. That's good.
That would save you on the cost. There are 3 hotels that we have that are in the area that is exactly 1 mile from the location, and the airport is exactly 4.5 miles from where we're going to be.
That's easy. Okay.
Okay.
So Atlanta, November 5th and 6th is
Yes.
the weekend. So definitely you can spend more time so you can get more information, and definitely, can you drop your Instagram or your website
Absolutely.
into the chat?
I sure can.
That way. Were there any questions that?
The
folks had?
127, is that 127 both days or total?
That's for, no, it's 127 for Friday, the mixer, and Saturday, all day. It does not include the Sunday. That's for the VIP.
And what's in the VIP day?
Well, the VIP is, you're going to have brunch and learn with us on Sunday. You have a bag that's going to have a lot of information from all of our speakers. So I'm super duper excited about that. Especially for those who are interested in getting a trust, especially those who are interested in for nonprofit. And you're going to be able to have that one-on-one, that private time with them on Sunday with us. So we got a lot that's going to be in store to be able to be in the room with them. It's going to be pretty impressive.
Okay.
And
So
again, you can go to, it's being in the room. I can't even begin to tell you. It is being in the room that's going to get you what you want.
Yeah, and that's how I met Tamarra, just being in the room. I've invested $55,000. $55,000, and that's per year. So when folks ask, where are you getting this information from and how are you pouring in? It's from that type of information. And when I get that, Nehemiah Davis is the Circle of Greatness. That is the group where I get a lot of this information from. This is where a lot of she's getting this information from. And I don't think, how long have you been with Circle of Greatness?
Well, I will say this. I've always been in business for myself prior to, but what Neo did for us is he scaled us to the next level.
Exactly.
So we were doing easy 30, 40 without his help.
Right.
But he took us over to the 6-figure
per month. Okay, there we go. We want to make sure.
Yeah, you're right. I'll be wanting all that on social media.
Yeah, but just to verify, the investments of what we're asking for, $497, right? Who said that, Ron? That's nothing. Exactly, for that entire weekend. Because there are some weekends where you're like, it's $10,000 or it's $15,000. Not to say that it's not worth it. Not to say that it's not worth it, but you have to understand, what am I planning to get out of this so that I can walk out of here with more? Whether you're just getting your business started, like Jonathan, I would love to speak with you about getting the basics set up with your business, making sure everything is properly set up correctly, because you got to have the foundation set up right before we can start talking about, let me get the credit cards and let me get these straight. So if anybody needs to get that set up, that's what I'm here for. Let's get the basics set up to make sure you're going to get the link. I promise you, I'll send you that so that you can get your LLC formatted, just to pay the basic price for your state. Like Tamarra mentioned, it should only be anywhere between $200 and $300. That's it. An EIN number is free.
The only thing is, if you're in New York, it's $850. So that's why I said it depends on where you are, but it's generally just a few $100.
Right, that's it. So all those other upsells, they do that on purpose because that's what they do. So just let's connect so that we can get the basic of your LLC started, the bank account information, your EIN number, your virtual address. When I say virtual address, I don't mean your mama's address. I don't mean, the address where you live. I want you to think like a CEO. What CEO will have their personal address out there in the world? You don't want your personal address out there. So, we'll have connections inside so that you'll get the right link to a virtual address, a business. When you Google that virtual address, does it go to a UPS store? That's a no-no. Or is it going to an actual building? Yes, that's what you want. You want an actual building, not a UPS store, not a FedEx store. Okay. So those are the things I want to make sure that we're connected to. So you've got the link for Tamarra's weekend coming up in Atlanta. You got your IG information in the chat as well.
Yes, and please make sure to use Lorie's code. I want to make sure that you guys do use her code, okay?
My name is Lorie. Can you change the code?
Oh, I gotta go in and change it, okay? I'll make sure I change that right now.
Okay, all right, I appreciate it.
Lorie,
make sure it's right, Lorie,
Right. Oh my God. I feel so bad. I'm so sorry.
That's okay.
But they call me Tamarra. I'm Tamarra. Okay, so I apologize, but yes, that is her code. Just give me a few seconds to change that to make sure that I include the E in her name. Again, we want to make sure that's right. And then again, make sure to, if you're able to join us here in Atlanta, like I said, you guys can partner up together in an Airbnb. Again, they got so many over there in the area. And again, it's 4.5 miles from the airport. And Lorie, I want to say thank you for having me on. I really appreciate you, reaching out to me. And who knows, there'll be some other great things coming ahead. So I'm grateful. Thank you so much.
I'm pretty shy on stage. I don't know if I'm ready for the stage.
You wasn't all that shy. Well, yes, you were. Because you was with my friend Michelle.
I'm not shy.
In April.
I'm not shy.
I was gonna say, I was like, you shy? No. No.
Does anyone have any questions before she leaves? Because I can keep her here.
Yes, I have one.
Come on with it.
I just want to know what can you explain net 30 and does it help you build business credit?
Okay, so in building credit, and before I go any further, just so you know, that has been corrected to Lorie. That's Lorie, the proper spelling of her name. And when we're talking business credit, I don't really like net 30 accounts, but net 30 accounts down the line can help on the funding side, but we can get you lines of credit right now. I mean, if it was 5 of you that had your credits in order, between Lorie and I, we can get you funding right now. Right now.
So how can they get in touch with you just so they can even apply and see if they can get that for their own business?
Let me go ahead and give you the link for that, because what people don't understand is you can get funding now. Not now, but right now. No, yeah, yesterday.
Okay, let's go.
Okay. We you can get it, but when you go with a net 30 account. So I'm putting that link in there for you for those who are interested. So let's just say that you wanted to go ahead. He's asking about a net 30 account. I'm gonna give you the definition of a net 30 account. Net 30 accounts are accounts that will allow you to pay buy now and pay later. They will give you an invoice. Now, Ron, that's for credit. That minimum 680 is for credit. Okay. He's specifically asking the question on net 30. Now, if you decide that you want to go the credit route, and I'll talk about that after I finish the net 30. So the net 30, Mr. Ronnie, is when it allows you to purchase an item now, and you have 30 days from when, to pay it from their invoice. Okay. You literally have 30 days to pay it. Now, you do not want to wait till the last minute to make a payment to them when it is time to pay. You really want to pay, when they say it's a net 30, you want to pay it within 15 days. okay? Or 21 days. That's when you want to pay it. Why? Because it'll increase your net 30 privileges of, you know, the limits and all of that stuff. Or some of them may convert it to an actual account where it's like a credit. Okay.
And it doesn't get reported on your personal credit at all.
Say it again.
It doesn't get reported on your personal credit.
No, not when it comes to that. No, not when it comes to that. Not in that 30 account. Now, if we're going for credit, then you will need to have a minimum of a 680 credit score. You will have to have a minimum of 2 credit cards that are 2,500 and above. You would have to have some other things and parameters that we need. No charge off, no collections, no bankruptcies or child support or anything like that. And then we can support you on that side of getting you the funding. Okay.
Thank you for the clarity. Anybody else have any questions? We're gonna take 2 more. Y'all can get going because you got to change over your cell phone tonight to a business account.
Please do that.
You got to do that. Ronnie, did you have another question? Your hand was still raised, so I'm not sure if that was from before.
No, that was from before. I'm okay. Thanks.
Okay. Jonathan, are we ready to get our business set up tomorrow? You gonna set up an appointment with me so we can get that started?
He's just over there cheesing.
Don't be scared now. Unmute yourself, brother. You're on mute. You talking passionately, but I can't hear you. Thank you.
Oh, can y'all hear me?
We can now. Yeah, go ahead.
I said probably not tomorrow, but in the near future.
Okay. So just let me know when you're ready. We can schedule a 15-minute appointment to get you set up for your new business, okay?
All right.
All right, good. Thanks for joining in tonight. All right, everybody else looks to be pretty good. Letitia, I'm wondering what else is needed, but I think you guys got it all. So I want to thank you very much, Mrs. Allen.
Thank you.
I adored asking you, and I knew you'd say yes, but I'm so thankful that you did say yes to bless everyone here. And certainly anyone who is going to go, let me know when you get your ticket so that we can join this together. Elevation is everything. So as I always said, all of these shows are filled with stuff. And I mean the meat that you need and no fluff. So I hope you enjoyed everything tonight. And you will get the replay tomorrow, I promise you, with lots of links that will help you to get you started this week. If you need help with getting your business idea out from here to actually fruition, to figuring out what's the name of my business going to be, let's schedule an appointment. My calendar link will be in there. Every one of you that is an entrepreneur, you have something in you that no one else has. And you have to understand your gift will make room for you. Your gift will make room for you. So let's not worry about how much things cost. And the only thing you need to worry about is what idea do I need to get out to the public? Who needs me? That's the only thing you have to lead from. And it comes from here, not from, well, how much money is this business going to make me? Once you lead with, how is this business going to help? And how many people can I help today? You will begin to see millions just from that one shift of your mindset. So again, I thank you very much, Mrs. Allen. Tamarra, tomorrow, I will see you soon. Tamarra, tomorrow, whatever we're going to be, Lorie with an E is signing out. You guys have a wonderful evening. Thanks a lot.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Lorie. I appreciate it with the IE. Tammy with the IE. You guys have a great